With that being said, self-care on social media is a scam. Sorry to say it, but it is. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Nibble, and I guess I should say like 3 facts about myself. I'm a Leo sun and rising. Not telling y'all my moon. I don't need y'all knowing how I process my emotions. I'm just kidding. I'm a Gemini moon. My favorite comfort show is That 70s Show. Love that show. I love reading and baking. But anyways, enough about me. I just want to start this series on my channel called like Let's Talk About It, because I don't know, I just feel like I have a lot of shit to say on a lot of different subjects. So yeah, today I'm going to be talking about the media's portrayal of self-care. It's a lot here, y'all. Let's just get into the video. The portrayal of self-care on social media around what is considered self-care today is just based on buying stuff. It's just like the idea of self-care has been materialized. I feel like everything nowadays is just based around the fact that, oh, buy this, buy that. Okay, I'm editing right now. It's dark, but I'm just realizing how poorly I explained this. Oh my gosh. Basically, what I meant is like the way self-care is portrayed now is almost like you have to spend like a certain amount of money. For example, like all of the like glow up and transformation videos be like $1,000 transformation. Like I spent $5,000 to be pretty. Like although nothing is free, you don't have to spend money for self-care. And another thing I didn't touch on is how self-care on the media just focuses on everything external. It just doesn't touch on every aspect of self-care, you know, like emotional, mental, all of that. Like it just really focuses on the physical version of self-care. It's basically teaching us how to fill a void, if we're being honest. And coming from someone who used to have a spending addiction, it doesn't work. All that stuff you're buying, it only brings you temporary happiness. The more stuff you buy is not gonna magically make your problems go away. I feel like self-care nowadays just focuses on the external, and it's like if you're actually struggling like with mental health, a face mask is not gonna help. Like, trust me, I know. There's nothing wrong with treating yourself, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying this because there's a lot of young people who go to social media to like get advice for self-help, self-care, self-love, everything. And it's like a lot of that stuff is kind of just the tip of the iceberg of self-care, if that makes sense. So I'm not saying that the stuff isn't self-care, it is, but when it's just based around consumerism and avoiding your problems, that's when it becomes a problem. I feel like I might butcher this name, but Sania Rashid, she said, quote, "People tend to resort to temporary self-care because it's easy. Although these things may help and relax in the moment, there are usually underlying issues that need to be resolved through therapy. There are certain behaviors that we tend to repeat due to our past experiences." I'm not gonna get too deep into this because I can honestly talk for hours. Our childhood affects us like a lot. Like our traumas, everything literally play out in the way we react and respond to stuff. With that being said, when it comes to actually trying to better yourself, it's not supposed to be external. It's supposed to come from the inside out. Self-care practices have become based around marketing and aesthetic purposes. With that being said, I wanted to touch on the Batgirl aesthetic / lifestyle. I feel like this heavily relates with what I'm saying. If you don't know what Batgirl is, it's an aesthetic / trend that's been blowing up on TikTok recently. I feel like it kind of blew up like last year on TikTok, but it's kind of been around. It's basically like a reframed version of the Tumblr girl, or like the early Insta. The Urban Dictionary definition of that girl is known mostly on TikTok. That girl is a girl or any gender that gets up at 5 a.m., meditates, drinks smoothies, journals, eating only healthy food, goes to the gym every day, and heavy on the last part, most likely rich too. Now you've probably seen this trend everywhere from YouTube to TikTok to Instagram. The main focus of these videos are becoming your highest self. Although most of these things are beneficial, the way it's being done makes it seem more of like a job or a chore.
Today and moving forward.
But this trend that's taken over TikTok and YouTube since 2021 is a performance that seems kind of exhausting. And turning self-care into a job misses the whole point of what wellness really is.
And I said it's more of like a job or a chore because the way these things are being done, it's kind of being done just so you could check it off a checklist. I'm gonna speak from experience real quick because there was a point in time that I tried to become that girl. Not gonna lie. I was waking up at 5 a.m. I would watch the sunrise. It was great, but that stuff was not working for me. Although some of that stuff I still do till this day, but it's just like trying to mold into that idea of something. It just makes it lose like its authenticity. Like it's not fully used. The aesthetic of that girl is mostly like being your highest self, exercising, eating healthy, but that's not really how it comes across. If anything, it comes across as privileged, skinny white girls. And I say privileged mainly because they say in most of the videos I've seen, they say like how to become that girl today, like you could do this too. But it's like we don't all live in high-rise apartments with beautiful sceneries surrounding us. Not everyone has access to healthy food. Not everyone has access or the time to exercise. When they make it come across as if it's realistic or attainable, when it's not that way. It's not realistic for everyone. It's not attainable for everyone. I just want to mention this because this also feeds into the consumerism aspect. It's almost as if you have to spend money. It's not almost if, it is like you have to spend money or buy certain things or have a certain self-care regimen just to be that girl. But my main problem with this is like there's no authenticity at all. And even the fact that it's a trend is like, I would have no problem if everyone's doing this, just that they're doing it in the exact same way. And all I have to say for this is everyone is different. Do what works for you. What works for your favorite influencer may not work for you. And I feel like that's one thing we really have to realize, because influencers just, they do what they do. They influence. And I don't know, it's just easy for like younger audiences to just do what their favorite influencer does just because they say it works for them, when in reality you just have to find what works for you. Last thing I want to touch on is toxic positivity. Now, if you don't know what toxic positivity is, it's basically like constantly just thinking positive and avoiding your other emotions. When I think of toxic positivity, I think of that scene of Kat in Euphoria. I'm gonna insert it right here.
Kat, you just have to love yourself.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. I fucking hate myself.
Every day you get out of bed, it's an act of courage.
That's easy for you to say. You don't have like fucking mental problems.
Yes, I do. Why do you think I look like this?
Are you kidding? I wish my mental problems made me look like you.
Trust me, you don't.
Trust me, I do. You're like the most beautiful person I've ever fucking seen.
Kat, you need to smash all beauty standards.
But I can't even get out of bed.
You have to love yourself. You need to find your inner fucking warrior. Become a bad bitch.
In that scene, it's just everyone yelling at her like, love yourself, love yourself. That's literally how it is. That's how it feels. And it's just like all these influencers or the media in general will just be like, oh, love yourself, do this, do that, but it's not that easy. It's really not, especially when you're just being told love yourself, but no one's telling you how. Like I said, it's not that easy, especially if you're like in a bad headspace or if you're dealing with mental health issues. I feel like they never really shed light on how hard that can affect people. But yeah, why are people popping fireworks at fucking 2 a.m.? It is literally July 17th, y'all. Yeah, they don't really shed light on how hard mental health could be on people and how it affects people in many different ways. And being told stay positive while you literally feel like ending it all is like, it doesn't help. It really doesn't. But when it comes to toxic positivity, I feel like we have this idea like if you just, you know, don't think about the negative, things will just magically be okay. I would say don't over-focus on the negative, but definitely don't be oblivious to it. Let go of the idea that you have to be constantly happy or just constantly thinking positively, because it's not realistic. You can't just avoid your problems and think that they're gonna go away. It doesn't work like that. Sadly, wish it did, but it doesn't work like that. I just have to say, feel your emotions. You're not weak for doing so. I feel like society has this idea of crying makes you weak, or just like, I see this a lot, but a lot of people just be like, thug it out. And it's like, no, that's just gonna catch up to you one way or another. Avoiding your emotions, it's just gonna make them all come up at once, and it's not pretty. It's not. I think it's important to feel your emotions in every aspect. Yeah, that's it for this video. I just want to touch on the fact that social media's idea of self-care, it's mostly based around the fact of avoiding your problems and just buying shit instead. That's what I got from this, honestly. That's all I have to say for this video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a great day or night. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in another video. Much love.
What?